first, leading off the checkup, Joker 2, a couple updates. We found out that Joker 2, first, is going to begin with a Looney Tunes inspired cartoon starring the Joker. I hate that this has been announced already, Ricky Flex. I like just being surprised in the theater, but promotion can't help themselves. This animated sequence is going to be animated by Sylvain Chomet, who did something called the Triplets of Belleville. No idea what that is, never seen it. But Todd Phillips is doing a lot of press leading to like the Venice premiere of Joker Folie à Deux. He said that Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn is not similar to past interpretations, kind of like what we assumed. He said, quote, the high voice, the accent, the gum chewing, and all that sort of sassy stuff that's in the comics, we stripped that away, end quote. And then to build upon all this, Todd Phillips seemingly confirms that Joker 3 will not be happening. He said, quote, I think we said what we wanted to say in this world, end quote. Ricky Flex, bunch of different updates there. I'm going to start with this question. Is Joker 3 going to happen?
No. No, but I understand people saying, oh, well, if they make enough money, they'll do it. I understand that aspect. And I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm just thinking, all right, they already said that the Joker 1. Yes, that goes into the Joker 3 argument, but hear me out. They already did a Joker 1 where they said, this is going to be it, right? But then they kind of left the door open for a Joker 2 at the ending a little bit. So they do a Joker 2. My thing here is that, all right, you're putting in a lot of effort and you're getting really experimental. Really experimental. Will this hit with everybody? Joker 1 didn't even hit with everybody. I know it was 10 times or nine Oscar noms or whatever. This one, Looney Tunes in the beginning, musical influences here, kind of a musical a little bit. Joaquin back singing, Lady Gaga getting thrown in here with Harley Quinn. I think here is like, all right, we got to just throw it all out here. That's what I'm gauging. We're letting what's it? You're letting the clip out. You're letting the clip out.
Unloading the clip.
You're unloading the clip. Yeah. All your ideas.
Out, baby. Boom, 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 boom. We're letting it out.
All your ideas are getting thrown out onto this movie, and they're just emptying the gas tank. You know.
You got to stop with these cliches. These.
But you know what I mean? Like, there's just no way there's a third one gonna happen. And like, I know they're getting paid a crap ton of money, but they all want to do other stuff.
This is my prediction, Ricky Flex. I think first off, you can't have a tease like you did at the end of Joker. You know, for like it kind of tease that a sequel was a possibility. Obviously, it makes $1 billion. It almost feels inevitable that one was going to be announced. But I think the tease at the end of Joker Folie à Deux, you might actually have the death of Arthur Fleck. You might have like him out of the picture by the end of Joker Folie à Deux. And what they tease is a potential movie standalone with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. I think that's the next step here because this one's going to make $1 billion, right? Just with the power of Joaquin Phoenix and the IP of of iconic Batman villain, that made a bill. This movie is going to make a bill. You add Lady Gaga to the mix and her fandom, it's going to explode. I wonder how it's going to compete potentially with Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine just became the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. I think we're going to get some competition here with Joker Folie à Deux. It's going to be insane and almost unthinkable type of competition we're seeing at the box office. I am excited for this movie, though. I am excited for this movie. And we are going to be ranking our most anticipated for the rest of the year. I'm going to give a hint for listeners. I have it high. Todd Phillips is like pushing boundaries. Like the animated opening, like I wish he didn't tell me that. I want all this to be a surprise to me. I want all the different types of visuals that they're going to try and put on screen, push what you usually see from a comic book movie. I don't even consider this a comic book movie. I think Todd Phillips is trying to see what was done and what can we do differently. We got the musical aspects. He's not calling it a musical, but it is a musical at the same time. It just gives me the type of feeling of anything could happen in this movie. And we're going to make Harley Quinn unlike you've seen this person before. We're going to take the Joker character through a storyline that you would never imagine with Arthur Fleck. I just think that builds on why I wanted to see the movie so bad, because I have no idea whether it's going to be good or bad, whether I'm going to like it or hate it, what they're going to try and pull off, because I think that they just said we're going full zany, and we'll see how that plays off. And it seems like it's very unserious compared to the first movie.
Yeah, and for them to tell us this right now, about the Looney Tunes cartoon, that's like Deadpool telling us bye 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 is going to be at the beginning of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that would have been something where people have been focusing so much on the musical. It would have been such a it would have hit such a bang, or it would have been like a floor, like floors the audience type of moment. If it just goes like a dun 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 dun, and it shows up with Arthur Fleck on screen. You know, him and his zany thoughts, zany mind. I think that would have hit so much harder if we just didn't know about it. And that's kind of like the flaw when they do press and the movie debuts at festivals and we hear about the movie. People on Venice, like the board or whatever, saying like, "Hey, this is the best movie we've seen of the year so far." They're saying conceptually, it's fantastic. It's pushing what we've already seen before. I think DC is low key doing it right. I think it was Mattson Tomlin who wrote for the Batman. He just made a comment on the Batman Part Two, and he's saying that it's going to start filming beginning of 2025. And he said Matt Reeves is trying to do something that is not usually seen in the comic book world. And I think that's what Todd Phillips is doing, like almost like a DC Black Label and Elseworlds, where it's we take movies less formulaic than what we've seen with Marvel in the DCEU, and we're just trying to make different type of experiences. That's what I appreciate about Joker. I don't care about like as much about the political commentary on it all. I know there's gonna be a bunch of controversy surrounding this movie, but I like that we're gonna see maybe Joker in a different light, but now we're gonna see Harley Quinn in a different light, and hopefully it still has like the core of what the character is all about, but it's just something unfamiliar that I think is going to push audiences.
Yeah, and like it's about finding that sweet spot between the comic book accuracy and being innovative, right? Being creative, pushing boundaries, like you're mentioning, right? If you go one of those directions too far, you're not going to have happy campers. If you go the comic book accurate to one, then it's just like, all right, like you're not trying anything. We've already seen this before. We've already read this. Similar to like the Watchmen chapter 1 that just came out, that was 1-to-1 directly with the comics, and people aren't happy because we've got so much Watchmen content over the past 15 years. You got to kind of do something different, like the 2019 show did with Damon Lindelof, versus this, where hey, the Looney Tunes thing could be wow, like it could be great, but it could just miss. It could be a huge swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like we've seen so many things where it gets pisses off comic book uh, fans, and this could be one. But I think it won't be because we already have a Joker 1, and we have all this press and promotion kind of telling us what this is going to be. So our expectations are kind of reset where we're not thinking, oh, this is like I don't know the Joker book of the Joker of the comic books. No, this is just Joaquin's Joker. This is Todd Phillips' Joker. It's more like what type of Harley Quinn are we going to get? That's going to be the new question.
Uh-huh.
And apparently, in those quotes that just came out saying this is going to be the one that you see. So I do like that too, kind of matching the vibe. So overall, like I do like the pushing the boundaries, but hopefully it just doesn't go so far off the edge where it just pisses us off.
This could be divisive for so many groups of people within movie watching worlds. You know, I think with film lovers, like people were so critical of the first movie, nominated for 11 Oscars, by the way, is it just a copy and paste of a 1970s or early 80s Martin Scorsese film? Like you have those people that are already pissed off at the Joker franchise. And now you got the comic book world, like we're doing a version of the Joker. Maybe the first one's a lot slower. He's not one that we're familiar with. But also when you say Harley Quinn, we're stripping everything that you know and things that you loved about the Margot Robbie character, things you liked about Batman the Animated Series. We're getting rid of that. So now you're going to kind of divide the actual like, comic book movie world too. This is going to be the most polarized movie of the year. It's just all I would say even potentially more so than the first movie, and also builds on the hype. Builds on the hype and those comments from Todd Phillips. He also mentioned like the budget of the movie, like moviegoers should not care about the budget of the movie. We're spending this money to make sure you have a good time in the theater. Let's just hope it looks good, right? There should be a lot of practicality aside from the animation of this movie. It seems like it has amazing dance sequences and zany sequences and musical sequences. Let's see how it is executed on screen.